not trusted. So, and that wouldn't be the case had you handled things right when I went to you. What you do is you collect evidence and you investigate. You don't just blow off victims and hope to God the offender stops. And then when he doesn't, go, oh shit, now how do we cover that up? Yeah, that's what you're doing. I know that's what you're doing. You and Josh. So, my granddad was the chief of police, by the way, of Roswell. Remember, I've told everybody this, and his whole life was about relieving suffering caused by crime. Remember, power is in serving others. Not you pretend you're God. You're not God. God entrusted you with a job. He called you to relieve the suffering, not cause it, not re-traumatize people like me. If I didn't have the help that I have, and I were mentally weak, I wouldn't be able to deal with the shit I've had to deal with. Major catastrophic losses like a home, a car, almost my life, and my freedom, and my reputation, and my career, and family members that I've lost time with. Because, you guys go around telling them once a week, we think we found a way to finally make this false arrest thing work. So you guys got to be okay with it, right? And then when I find out you think they're leaking, then you go back to them and go, was it you? Did you leak? Did you let something slip? Who'd you talk to? Do you want me to ruin your business? You want me to get the IRS on you? Do you want me to get the EPA after you? And you threaten and coerce. Right? Also, I assert my equal protection rights against what I say? Stalking, hacking, peeping, coercion. Title 18 of the United States Code. You do not get to witness tamper, bitch. You don't. When you guys get told on, you don't think by now you should be able to figure out you're going to have some consequences. It's called a legal shitstorm. That might result in you lose your property. You lose your money. They can seize it. This thing that you guys did when you called all over the place, do you have the recordings? We'll buy them. My guys are like, we don't want that money. You know what we want that money to go for? Mike and Cynthia. To compensate him for the hell Mr. Perry's put them through. For, Cynthia, a decade. Mike, 3 years of his life. So, his freedom, his reputation, his son, my son. That's what we want that money to go to. We're not going to give it to him to get these recordings so he can destroy the evidence. We've all worked too hard for that. So you want to peep and poke and click and bang, and it hasn't gotten you a day, you're rejected. What's it do? Gets you told on. So when a shrink goes, his failure to respond appropriately like that, she doesn't like it, and he does it anyway. He gets told on, he does it anyway. You have to be mentally retarded to respond like that. You have to be. You cannot be thinking with a full load and respond that way. There's no way. So how embarrassing for you, Mr. Perry. You embarrassed the hell out of me. You're acting like that guy, and it's pathetic. He's not going to get a date with her. If he was nice to her and respected her rights and wishes and let her come to him, then he might. I mean, I don't think he's really her type, but they might at least be friends. But because he's acting that way, now he's got a restraining order against him, and he frankly should be in jail. I think the public outrage has been such that everybody thinks he should fucking be in jail. Stalking is a crime. Why is he not in jail? There's some of these TikTok videos I've seen where people are asking that question. Why the fuck is this bitch not in jail? Stalkers will kill. They're dangerous, Mr. Barnes. You heard of Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander? You heard of Drew Carey's ex-girlfriend? You heard of Teresa Saldana? You heard of Rebecca Schaefer? You're dangerous if you're helping a dangerous man. My granddad being a police officer, I heard all my life what Texas Rangers were the shit. Texas Rangers are elite, man. Everybody wants to be a Texas Ranger. Not now though. That's not the case. You've degraded that position. That's unfortunate. I'd like you to show me one piece of evidence that there's any political vendetta against a small town nobody podunk nothing like Perry. Show me. Why does he matter? He doesn't. It doesn't matter one bit. Politically, doesn't matter. There's no vendetta, sir. He's simply unable to identify his legislative duties. He's simply unable to even identify what state he lives in. He also cannot identify what constitutes an actual date. He's Looney Tune, and you're backing that? Shit me with that, right? You have your name on your job and your work product. Okay? It's on there. You wrote it on there. You want to be the bitch of a sex pervert, that's your choice. But understand the consequences. People don't think that's cute. People don't like corruption. They're sick of it. Everybody's sick of it. If you didn't see that with what happened with George Floyd, you're not all there either. Mr. Perry, I really would like you to listen to me when I say this. I don't care what you think. Why in the fuck do you think I would? What in the fuck planet do you live on that you think I care what you think? Were you asked? I don't think you were. Here's what you were asked to do. Leave me the fuck alone. Quit peeping, quit hacking, quit stalking, quit bothering me, quit your poke and peep bullshit, weird shit you do. Don't contact me. I don't want to hear it. Get out of my phone. I'm not going to help you. I've never helped you in all these years. The McNamara email was 7 years ago. I've not helped you. You don't know who gave me that. You're never going to know that until you're in court and that shit comes out in court. Okay? In your criminal case. Not before. Nobody wants to help you. We want you gone. Because when you're gone, so are all the creepy things you do. I don't like it. It doesn't get you a date. It gets you told on. Act like you understand what I'm saying. You act like you have no fucking idea what I'm saying. It's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. I don't care what you think. We're all sick of hearing it. We're all sick and tired of hearing you talk. You need to shut up and go away. Listen to what this man says and respond appropriately. Everybody feels like this.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
Okay, I'm going to say this again. Mr. Perry, your contact in all forms is not wanted. You disgust me. You gross me out. You creep me out. And you're weird as they come. And I've asked you over and over and over not to do that. Please stop. So when I'm quoting you, that is you being stopped, since you can't do it by yourself like a big boy. They're doing it for you. You disgust me. You disgust me. If all guys aren't doing what you're doing, maybe there's a reason for that. You can't get a real date. You don't have a real love life. You're watching TV pretending. You look like a buffoon. You look like a fool. So there's a reason for that too. What you're doing is criminal. There's a reason it's a crime. I don't like it. It's not attractive. You're not going to get a date acting like you act. Do you understand me? I don't care what you think. I really am sick of hearing it. We all are. When somebody tells you, I don't like it when you do that, please stop doing that. And you don't, you keep going at it and going at it and going at it and going at it and going at it. You're asking for trouble, sir. And at your age, you ought to know that. So if you're mentally ill and you don't respond appropriately to what people are trying to tell you, and you can't reason and ration like a rational person, normal human being, and so you get told on and told on and told on so that someone else will do it for you, they'll stop you. You asked for that, sir. When you pester me, when you take my money, things don't go well for you. You're seeing things happen you've not seen before. 50,000 times. 50,000 times you sat down and had a little meeting planning a way to hurt me or creep me out or disturb me or bother me or cause a problem for me, and you got caught. Like, I don't know, there's a bunch of them with the subject line in my emails: get her shoe print, get her back on that Poland on a schedule, get her to the pawn shop, starve her, take her all her money, give Terry, have Terry give her jewelry and have her pawn it, and we'll get her on, possession of stolen. Except I didn't steal it. He gave it to me, and it wasn't worth shit. Pawn shop wouldn't take it, our guy says. It's Walmart crap. It's not worth $10. So, all of those recordings, Mr. Perry, are held by someone in law enforcement, maybe more than one agency. They've been heard by me and whatever reporters are in the need to know. Those reporters are in the need to know because we need that kind of protection. It's that bad. That's our protection. One of us end up dead because you did something. That reporter knows exactly what happened beforehand. Remember, we're not getting this after. These are not afterthoughts to explain something away, Mr. Barnes. We're getting it before. I knew Mike Neely was drugged. It wasn't on the docket yet. Why did Chief Ridley and Ty Buttram not testify for him and say the same thing they said to the news media? We don't understand. This doesn't make sense. They weren't fighting. You explain that to me as well. Or don't say, I'm sorry, but I'm the better cop. I just am. I'm doing a better job than you are. I worked in a strip club for 6 years, and I come out with a texted admission to poisoning me with arsenic. So bad, they wouldn't let me get tested. Now, you and I both know, if they didn't give me arsenic, they would have made sure there was a test. Mr. Perry wanted to say he's a victim of bullshit, that I just made crap up, filed a false police report. But here's the thing. He did give me poison. He made sure there was no blood test. I wasn't tested by Tulsa police. I wasn't tested by you guys over in Texas. I'm illegally detained physically by physical force, prevented and delayed from reporting the crime happening to me. Charles, you're creeping me out right now. Please stop doing the things you do that I find disgusting. Don't expect a date with me if you do everything women hate. If you really liked women, you would do things women like. We don't like being creeped out. We don't like being peeped on. I need you to shut up. I don't care what you think. I've made that very clear. We're all tired of hearing it, Neil. So, this, there would have been a blood test. They would have had a big conference, a big press conference, drama queen. See, she claimed that she was poisoned. We had her tested. There's nothing in her blood. And I had those texts, and he knew I had those texts. Remember, he's hacking. He's a peeping Tom. He knew I had the McNamara email. He knew I had the text. He knew about the Facebook messages going way back. And Cheryl's email. You had Cheryl's email. He's showing up at restaurants. You had that. I gave you that. So, he knew. He chose to do it anyway. And then I'm like, well, I told you so. And I said it beforehand. This is not an afterthought to explain something away. I said it before. We got 50,000 of those, Mr. Barnes. Everyone should know this by now. I mean, it's not like it's the first time I've said that. So, then, there's this one. So, when the police officer is diffusing some stress, I thought it was funny. I understand the stress. I'm under the same kind or worse 24/7 by a lunatic. Google bird, she said.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes. First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Mr. Perry, again, I don't care what you think. I don't give a fuck. You don't matter to me. You are a job. You continue to try to tell me what you think, and nobody understands why you do that. You completely failed at responding to what I just said. I, Cynthia Ortiz, don't give two fucks what a lunatic cuckoo bird like Charles Perry thinks. You don't even make sense. You're just like that guy. You absolutely don't make any sense. Now the guy that's commenting on how Neil here is acting makes perfect sense. And guess what? The rest of the world sees you the same way. You don't know the comments that people made when they came into my strip club. One guy walked in and he goes, "Oh, you're the girl." He was from Sepulpa. "You're the girl, that chick that Senator Wackadoo just will not leave alone." Yeah. How'd you know about that? Everybody knows about that. It's creepy. The guy's fucking creepy. How about I take you back and get you a lap dance? I want to make you have some fun. I'm sorry you're having to go through that. Do you know how many people tell me that, Mr. Perry? I'm sorry he's putting you through that. When we get what you just said, that's why. See, I can explain this to you, and you're stupid. You're a fucktard. You're mentally retarded. Layman's term, fucktard. You'll not get it. It'll go right over your head. So when you continue to try to tell me what you think after you have been told and told and told and told, we're all sick of hearing it. Shut up. No one asked you. You were not asked, sir. Why in the fuck do you think I care what you think? And you keep going on and on and, you're like this.
Leave me alone! Please!
You look like a buffoon. You need to learn how to respond appropriately to what people say to you. You act like you have no fucking idea what it means. Do you? And so you're not in a nursing home. Why? Because you presented danger. You killed a cop. You've tried to kill me. More than once. I have heard those recordings, sir. Here's the thing on the need to know. The need to know was not supposed to be known at all. Nobody was supposed to know there even was such a thing. But when I got back from jail, you got recorded so much talking about murdering me, killing me. We got to kill her. We got to put her at the lake, at the bottom of the lake. Over and over and over. You were saying that a lot right then. Because I'm back, and I'm starting to talk about what you did to me. Because you and I had an agreement. I'm not going to lie for you. You just caused me to lose my house, and a good house. I loved my house. So did my kid. We're getting up on our feet from the last time you pulled the rug out. So, women have the right, Mr. Perry, not to be stalked and harassed. One thing I really liked about Fabian, guess what he said to me? I think you deserve better than to be harassed by this guy for the rest of your life. Yep, and I do. And that's why he wins and you lose. That's why his name is on that puzzle and yours is not. You're just a butt-in wannabe. Never the one wanted. And no one cares what you think. We're all tired of hearing it. All of us are tired of hearing it. We'd all like you to shut up. So you are talking about killing me so much, Mr. Perry, Mr. Barnes, whoever else, that they said we think that we need to let him know there is an investigation, but you can't say who we are. And maybe if he at least knows there is something, which rendered or produced the McNamara email, then maybe he'll back off and not kill you. And the thing is you're so stupid, you get caught and you try to do it anyway. Or you do it anyway. 5 car accidents, Mr. Perry, in 3 years, right after you were recorded talking about getting my car. I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures out it's not legal. You really, are you one of those fucktards that didn't realize on 9/11 when the second plane hit the towers, we had a terrorist attack? It took all 4 events and the news people saying it was a terrorist attack for you to get that's what that was? Are you that mentally slow? See, you're irritating the fuck out of me because I don't understand somebody who's that slow. I can't deal with it. Everybody has their talents and their strengths and weaknesses. I'm not a shrink. I don't want to be a shrink. At first, I was trying to major in psychology, not so I could be a shrink because I don't have the patience. I don't have a gift of that. I don't even care. I don't even want to deal with it. I don't. I really don't. If I have to, like you're making me, then I'm going to deal with it like this. Okay? Somebody who's grandiose thinking like you, and you think you're God, you have power, you fucking have nothing. We control your leaks. We always have, we always will. You can't even figure out how to get women to like you. So psychology and all that, that's not my thing. I wanted to do psychology so I could do what Dr. Phil did when he was helping Oprah with the Amarillo, whatever that was, some kind of lawsuit they had there. He's a jury consultant. I need to use it to read people like you because I'm an expert at sting-opping, and all I always try to do is try to get better at it. You made me get pretty fucking good. Every time I go to work for 6 years, I got to out-sting up your people, and not one of your guys got me to slip up. Not one of them. Not one of them. I did get Mickey James to say some very incriminating things, and David Robertson to admit to arsenic poisoning, and then threaten me, death and destruction, blah, blah, blah. Let your life fade away. Whatever the fuck that even means. Let us kill you? Is that how am I supposed to take that? And Terry Wagner's coercion with the... I'm telling them specifically what we're looking for. Here's the thing, guys. I know Terry Wagner works for you. And I knew that first time he came in. And then, so at this point, he's just a job. I'm going to work him over. I'm going to get what I want out of the guy. Pinto. The guy Pinto that, take $5,000 to be creeped out by the bitch. And I'm like, oh, fuck no. Oh, it's not, it's so, you. Yuck. So, if you have to pay me to be creeped out by you for a couple of hours, does it sound like I'm madly in love with this person, Mr. Barnes? Or does it sound like he's a creepy little stalker who doesn't have a real love life? And he's delusional. And he's convinced himself as he sits and watches TV that he's like John Hinckley. There's something real. Yep. No, but you got some guy that could go postal. And one of the girls that I worked with told me that fucker was in here. More than one of those girls I worked with told me that fucker was in here. And I'm going to tell you right now, that dude's hanging by a thread. It isn't going to take much. And he's going to do something. He's going to blow. And he's going to do something ugly. Well, what do you think that was with Chief Miller? Charles, don't try to talk to me. Stop trying to talk to me. When I'm doing these, he types in my computer like he thinks it's a conversation. Only a Peeping Tom would know what I'm doing right now because it's a recording. This isn't live. Right? Like using my Dasher app or my Uber Eats app or my Grubhub app. I signed up for 4 delivery services. Unless you're a Peeping Tom and a hacker, you don't know when I'm working, which company I'm working for on any given day, what part of town am I working in. To have your people call in and fucking make me wait on a damn order and so I can get it to your guy with the doorbell camera and all that crap. Like I said the other night, I had to cancel one because I don't do that. I don't wait. Sorry. I'm going to go in, I'm going to get my order, then I'm going to take it to your guy with the doorbell camera. Right. So only an algorithm chooses drivers. Your people cannot get me unless it's hacking because my guys talk to these people. So, Mr. Barnes, if you came into town for that, you were told she won't work. She'll hunker down if she knows you're going to do something horrible to her. Why wouldn't she? You're making her afraid just to go to work. Everybody's got to go to work or they don't eat. So guess what I've watched her do? Not eat. Charles, I don't care what you think. I really need you to shut up. Listen to what I want. I want my privacy. I want you to go away. I want you to stop butting into things that don't concern you. It's not your business. I want you to respect boundaries. I want you to act with some dignity. I want you to get off your lazy ass and go work like Jody Arrington and be impressive and not bother me all day and sit around trying to plan my ruin and get all creepy and weirdo. I don't find you attractive. I think you're a disgust. You're scum. You're a cop killer. I come from cop, Claire Barnes. 4 generations. Doesn't get any more cop family than me. So, Where were you when Mike needed help getting home? Why was I wasn't in front of the jury. I should have been. When I'm looking on the docket and I'm seeing my deposition isn't on the docket, everybody else's is, where's mine? They're going to keep me off the stand. I'm not having that. I have a story here to tell from Mr. Neely. So I'm going to tell it one way or the fucking other. So I type up motions to intervene and I file it. Well, there should have been a hearing on standing, right? Does she have standing to make this motion? Does she have the standing to even make this motion? You go into the courtroom and you make a legal argument before the judge as to why you think you have standing to make the motion. And then he kicks it out if you don't. Didn't happen. Nothing happened. It's sitting on the fucking docket like a meatball on the table. Why did that happen? Mr. Perry, you're supposed to be a dignitary, but you act like a pathetic little bitch who fucking can't be normal and go and leave everybody alone and move on. Not Jody Arrington. Congressman. United States Congressman Jody fucking Arrington. Talking about his work while you're asking Murdoch to bury your story. And then reporters are telling us, calling each other. They want to know who the 12 are. Remember that story we were told by Murdoch to bury? Well, they killed a cop. Yeah, okay. So is it you? Are you in that need to know? Can you talk to me about it? They're calling each other, bitch.
Talk to me for 2 minutes. First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down.
Claire, people are happy I'm okay. Normal people who think straight, empathetic. Perry doesn't have empathy. David doesn't. These guys don't have empathy. So it's a weakness we exploit. Everybody has empathy. They don't like it when one person makes another suffer. Like Perry has made me suffer, and Officer Michael P. Neely of Manfred Police. And the Miller kids that have no idea their dad was killed in the line of duty, not a drunk brawl, because nobody sat them down and said, look, there's no marks on this guy. There's no way he did it. Everybody was all confused. Doesn't make any sense. Charles, everybody hates your guts. That's why it's so easy for us to get information. You have leaks. We don't. We control those leaks. You know, we always have. You can't even control yourself. You are pathetic. You're told on and told on and told on and told on, and you will never get a date with me. Not going to happen. You do everything I hate, and you continue to do it even after I say, I don't like that. Please stop doing that. It's weirdo. You're fucking creepy. Stop. You're making a fool of yourself, and you're embarrassing the living hell out of me. Why aren't you embarrassed? Why are you not as embarrassed as you make everybody else feel? Something wrong with you. I asked the shrink that. Why is he not embarrassed? He's embarrassing the fuck out of me. He looks like a buffoon right now. She goes, he doesn't know he should be. I told you he's mentally retarded. He needs to go to the doctor. I mean, when he gets here, I can examine him and find out what's wrong and treat him. But where he is now, his attorney and his family is probably going to end up with some criminal charges because they're not doing shit. They know what they should. She uses professional words. I use cuss words because I'm not dealing with the same people she is. I'm dealing with some very bad people doing some very bad thing where you go, leave it to Beaver. Gosh darn. That doesn't work with you guys. So if I say bad words, that's because you asked for it. But just so you know, Mr. Barnes, the people that have the power to get something to me, like what you guys are just said and all that crap, they're glad I'm okay.
What rape culture is.
And by the way, I'm sorry that you're so depraved and deranged. You heard of depravity? Depraved indifference to human life. Depravity of your mind. You don't give a fuck about life and death. You're showing indifference. You're not doing shit. You know, there is that guy in Lubbock that blew my mind. Okay, so first of all, once in a while I watch Homicide Hunter. And they have an episode on there where this kid is a expert shooter, Olympic. He's on an Olympic competition for shooting. He's a teenager. So he's got his license and all that crap, and he's been trained, and he's an Olympic shooter. He's in a parking lot somewhere, and these two kids pull up, and one of them gets out and starts to hit him, tries to hit him. So he pulls his gun out, and he's telling the guy, back off. And he doesn't. He keeps coming at him. He shoots the guy, and the guy dies. But when he fell, the kid that, the shooter, the kid that shot him, ran right to his side and begins to do CPR. They get this boy, and they take him into the interview room. And the guy, the detective on Homicide Hunter, tells this kid what happened. And the kid goes, listen, is he dead? I didn't mean to kill him. I shot him at this certain place on his shoulder, so it would just push him back a little. It wouldn't kill him. So how the hell did he die? I didn't mean to kill him. That's not where I'm an expert shot. Did I miss? Right then, they know this is self-defense. This kid had no intention. They don't have mens rea here. You got to have mens rea. There's got to be some criminal intent involved. Or there's insanity. You're insane and you don't know what you're doing is committing a crime. Like my friend Tanya, who stabs her kids 200 fucking times each. 9-year-old boy, 3-year-old little girl, and she's found catatonic next to the kid. She doesn't clean anything up. She's not showing no acts showing consciousness of guilt. She's not hiding anything. She doesn't lie about it. She tells the officers, I killed them because I'm trying to send them to heaven so they're not molested. Wow, okay. So that is where the insanity defense applies. She's insane. Clearly, you don't do, that's not normal to do something like that. So, and she doesn't know she's committed a crime. She's made no effort to clean anything up or cover anything up. She's found catatonic next to her little baby girl. So, truly went crazy. And she was in a she was sentenced to a mental hospital. But when you have somebody trying to cover everything up like Mr. Perry does, destroying evidence, making phone calls, who has these recordings, and impeding police investigations and so forth, and coercing, and I'm gonna starve you into a lie, making threats like that, then now you've got an act showing that he knows what he's doing is criminal. He knows it. He's just doing it anyway. He thinks he's going to get away with it. Well, if you've got 50,000 recordings of you trying to hurt me, you're not getting away with shit. I don't know what planet you live on. So what happens is you're just delusional all the way around. That doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing is criminal. You clearly do. Because, as the reporter said, you've got evidence of coercion and evidence of fraud upon a court in Officer Neely's trial and 3 of her civil suits. So, I'm sorry, but my law degree tells me he's guilty. He did kill the chief. I mean, he can bullshit all he wants. He's not going to fool me. He's not going to fool most people, actually. In fact, a lot of people are getting aggravated at the insult to their intelligence, and they don't like corruption either, by the way, and they don't like men who make women feel raped either. You heard of Roger Ailes? You heard of him? You heard of Al Franken? You heard of, unfortunately, one of my favorite guys got in trouble, Bill O'Reilly. So, you got a problem, Mr. Perry, in that you think that you deserve to get away with things even President Clinton didn't get away with. You're off your nut. Why do you deserve? You're a podunk nobody. I want you to explain to everybody why you should get away with killing a cop and Peeping, having a sex offense problem, sex offender, weirdo, pervert problem, when guys like Bill Clinton and Jeff Epstein didn't even get away with it. Why should you? I'd like to know that. You're never going to get a date with me. I have help. That help is about to arrest you, and they may seize your car. All these threats to my car, it may be your car. There it goes. They can seize it. They can sell it, and they can pay your victims. And I understand that Mike and I are on top of the list. You guys have put through the ringer. You guys have, there's been a lot of hard work. There's been a lot of sacrifice made. You get paid first. You billed Mr. Perry. He could have paid you probably less in just paying the invoice of you're using my body against my will for your entertainment purposes. And so you owe me $1,000. It's not free, you little freeloaded, piece of trash. But $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent to me and my son separately. So or they can seize your shit, like often happens in these cases, and then the victims get paid that way, or restitution. I mean, there's lots of ways. So, but today the conversation with the judge, I believe, was about seizing your property. We're tired of hearing them talk about taking our car on a daily basis, or ruining it. So, maybe we ought to start talking about taking his shit, taking his car. Charles, I don't want you to contact me at all. No one cares what you think. You're really making me angry with your unwanted contact. It's creepy. You're just fucking creepy. You're not getting a date. 13 years, you've never gotten a date. You have gotten told on. Can you not look at your results and go, maybe I'm doing it wrong? Yep, you're just fucked hard as they get. So, now what did I say all that for? Shit, lost my train of thought. Anyways, listen to this guy, Mr. Perry, and figure out how the rest of the planet sees you.
Is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Okay, so you're fucking disgusting, Mr. Perry. You're not hot, you're not sexy, you're not attractive, you're not handsome, you're not cool, you're not smart. You disgust me. You disgust me 24/7. And the more you make unwanted contact, the more you invade my privacy, the more you violate me, the more loss you cause, the more problems you cause, the more disgust I feel. There's never going to be a date. In 13 years, there's never been a date. There's nothing. I don't like you. You are awful. There's nothing to like. You do everything I hate. And the more I say I hate it, the more you do it. So act like you act your age, damn it. And if you can't act your age, Charles, I don't like you. Move on. Listen, act your age. I don't like you. Move on, rapist. You're never going to get a date with me. You never have. You never will. The more you continue to force yourself on me, the more pissed off I get. Your contact is creepy. You're a weirdo. You need to learn how to control yourself, and you can't do it, can you? You can't. You don't know how. You don't even know what the fuck I'm saying right now, do you? I'm talking over your head, aren't I? Yep, something like that. Alright, so, Claire Barnes, have you seen this? This was dated October 29th, 2015. He's going to arrange a false arrest. Guess what, Claire? He's been trying to do it again ever since. You helping him? False arrest indicates somebody goes into court and lies on purpose. They know they're lying. Perry knew I had this. He knew. You know you're lying, Charles. I don't like you. Get a grip on reality. I moved twice to get away from you. I sued you 3 times, and in those lawsuits, 11 times asked the judge to make you leave me alone. Now, when you did it finally, what happened? Look at this. You show me, Mr. Claire, or whoever. Where's the marks on him that look like he was in a fight? I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any at all. He's got a red swollen right hand from an IV. Look. Read the arrest report. You're going to have to do your own homework. I'm not going to help you. You need to keep up with me. I'm not slowing down for you. Alright, so these people were coming up there, taking pictures of me, Claire. Everybody else saw it. See? She's like, I've lived here 10 years. I've never seen that happen before. People pull up and take pictures like that. That's fucking creepy. She talked to Lucky about it. So now Chief Miller's deceased, murdered. Well, what would happen, Mr. Barnes, had you done your job when I was in Texas? Had you investigated, had you collected evidence, and had you investigated things, what would have happened? He might be alive right now, and his kids would not be fatherless. So, I got to be careful what I say, because I don't like people that get negligently allow murder, depraved indifference to human life. If you get murdered, I don't give a fuck. Too bad. I'm not going to catch this bad guy. I'm lazy or I'm corrupt. It's just everybody else's problem. Now we got more victims. Yeah, well, too bad. Just don't even care. Nobody cares. Except our guys that aren't here. I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. All right, so I'm getting these. Now, does this look like it's about pro-life or gun rights or any kind of political issue to you? There's no text between No, listen, Mr. Perry, you need to produce evidence of a political vendetta. Produce it. Because at this point, being that you and I never had a fucking argument like that, so there aren't any texts or emails or anything like that, except for about stalking and your imaginary affair that you went around and told everybody. And then you got Mr. Powell going, well, can we just say she misunderstood Frank Morrison? Can we just lie? To which I guess maybe Mike Neely or someone in Oklahoma said, well, you can. But the problem is Perry never asks her why she's upset, so he already knew. And he doesn't deny spreading these rumors. He denies having employees. We all knew he had employees. She names them. Carl and Robin Tepper, who had been talking to Chris Wynn, blah, blah, blah. So you guys haven't lied in court because there was no political vendetta and there was no false police report because you obstructed the collection of the evidence. And I already just went over that in that last podcast. You need to watch it, Claire. Listen, you're going to have to keep up with me. I'm not slowing down for you. Everybody in Oklahoma knows that's how that's the way I work. I'm the one that's collected the evidence, Claire, of the stalking, not you. I did. I have 40 cops helping me. Because as it turns out, that McNamara email, Mr. Whoever, who am I talking to right now? Mr. Barnes, police on the Need to Know got that to me in October 29, 2015. It's a big, huge case. Sex trafficking and shit. Bad stuff. And you're not in that Need to Know. They weren't even supposed to know there was an investigation until Mr. Perry got caught talking about killing me so much. They were worried he was going to do it. He's actually tried again. So, more than once. So, they were like, maybe we should let him know we are here, but you can't tell him who we are. And now he's asking me, is it LAPD? Is it New York, NYPD? Is it Minnesota? Is it North Dakota? What'd you do in Minnesota and North Dakota and LA and New York? What'd you do in those places? Yeah, I don't know. Gosh, you're just something. But the more you bother me, the more this kind of stuff we get. So let's do this. Let's do the cause and effect again for mental slow. See if he'll get it this time, because he never does. When you cause a problem or a loss for me, including to my privacy, we get more of those. It's like you love it. 50,000 of them at this point. 50,000. And I'm getting it beforehand, not after. So this wasn't to explain away an arrest, was it? It was to tell everybody you were threatening me with it beforehand. 3 and 4 months beforehand. So, Claire, I'm getting these texts. You have to file a police report in Oklahoma or you don't get a protective order. I did, but I forgot to bring it to court. So my protective order gets denied. And then subsequently I'm told, recant your claims that you're being stalked or we'll put you in the lake. And then we talked about Fabian. So there's text to Fabian that I sent to Fabian that night. This guy came in and talked to me for Mr. Perry because this is the man that just told me a few months before, a year before, whenever it was I left Texas, I think you deserve better than to be harassed by this guy for the rest of your life. So, needless to say, I'm texting him about my conversation about him, Fabian, right? Manager at Jaguars, I told you to go and talk to him, and you didn't. Or maybe you did, maybe you threatened him. I don't know what you guys did. So, you did. It's not like what I was taught you do in law enforcement. That's, I forgot my story. Okay, my ADD. Okay, so this kid on Homicide Hunter, they do an investigation of his body, the medical examiner, and they find that he did in fact shoot the guy in self-defense. The bullet hit him in a place that would have done exactly what the kid said he wanted to do. I wanted to knock him back, but not kill him. So did I miss? Why is he dead? Well, what happened is once the bullet entered his shoulder, it ricocheted and went into his lung, and that's why he died. But this kid clearly hits the floor, begins CPR, did not intend to kill him. So he didn't get charged with anything. And then you got this guy in Lubbock, Kyle Caruth, who doesn't help. He doesn't render aid. And a man comes to get his kid and is denied his child. A court order is being violated at this point. He's shot. He's not armed. He's not hitting it. He's not even swinging at him. And the guy's shot, and he dies, and no aid is rendered. And Mr. Caruth starts screaming, yelling, "You shouldn't be here." Well, yeah, he came to pick up his kid. So he should be there. Where's the kid? You should have had the kid. So he dies for nothing. And in Lubbock, that's okay. Nobody fucking does a fucking thing about it. So you think, honestly, the rest of the country thinks highly of you for acting like that? Your corruption that you got over there? You really think the rest of the country thinks that's cool? Please understand they don't. Sir. They do not. So there are other crimes that you've done other places. You know, OJ kills Nicole and he gets away with it, right? But then when he goes to Nevada, they didn't put up with that shit in Nevada. He did jail time for his armed robbery. So believe me when I say you're buying people off here and there is only going to work for you for so long, and it didn't work with my guys. What they said when you called around saying, we want to buy these 50,000 recordings, we put a lot of money on the table. You know what my guy said? I want that out there that he's asking that question. You're going to get the money. Mike's going to get that money. We don't want it. What we'd like to do is seize their shit. And since they keep trying to take your car, well, why don't we seize their car? We'll sell it. You can have the money while they go to jail. If they're going to continue to try to take your car illegally and wreck it 5-6 times, well, we'll take their car. We'll seize their property. And when they're in jail, you can have it. You and Mike. You and Mike are all the victims, but you and Mike are at the top of the list. Because you two have put up the most sacrifice and you've worked the hardest. So you two are top of the list, you and your kids. So I want you to know, Mr. Barnes, that's the conversation of today. Yesterday. Now it's yesterday. So the difference in what happened on Homicide Hunter in a true self-defense case and what happened over Kyle Caruth now has everybody nobody trusts Lubbock. Bunch of corrupt pieces of trash over there. They'll let murderers go. Now we got Kyle Caruth killing a man just trying to pick up his kid. Unarmed. Not waving his hands trying to hit anybody. But unarmed, just shot. Dead. And we got a dead cop in Oklahoma. And we got a Commander William O'Ritchie of DC homicide where, normal people can think straight. Questioning why protocol wasn't followed in the death of a United States Supreme Court, and a beloved one, especially in Texas and Oklahoma, and apparently DC as well, that the proper protocol wasn't followed when he died, and it looks awfully fishy, while you're planning to perpetrate a fraud on his court, using me. We're going to send her home, harass the fuck out of her, and when she says we're harassed, when she complains about it, we'll say she's harassing us. We're going to peep on her and fuck up with her homework and try to get her car all the time and get her kicked out of her house over and over and over and over and try to kill her and get as creepy and weirdo as we can possibly come up with to get and piss everybody off. And then when she finds out what we're up to, we're going to say she's harassing us. We're going to lie. We always do. Concealment of material facts, that there's a duty to disclose it and it would change the outcome, and you conceal it. Tyler Buttram didn't testify for Mike. Chief Ridley didn't, and I didn't. I took an extra step in filing a motion to intervene, and again, no hearing when there should have been a hearing. There's that reporter said, there's 4 hearings that should have been held and weren't. And I'm seriously questioning the integrity of the judges. Judge Payne, by the way, was from Lubbock. How did we end up with him? Yep. See, you got a lot of things you need to explain. And in our case, you're going to have to. I mean, I don't know what else you bought off and who else is not making you explain where you spend your time, account for your time. Where's Jacqueline when you sit on your ass bothering me? Does she know you got a Peeping Tom problem? I heard she does. That she was starting to ask some questions about it. And you told her a judge gave me an order. And somebody else told her, no, I'm sorry, a judge is not going to give a private citizen an order to watch a woman in the privacy of her home. Your husband just bullshitted you. So if that's true, you better straighten that out with your wife. So I don't want you. I really don't want you. I've gone to a lot of trouble to be rid of you and get away from you. So Claire, you better keep up with me. I'm not slowing down for you. This was filed on the 21st of January after the McNamara email. That McNamara email goes over the recording that my guys have the recording. Police. The same ones that keep telling me when he wants to take my car away and that you might be in town. So then there's no time for an investigation. I'm arrested and charged in Texas where I haven't lived for now a year or so. And I don't even get a call back, much less my evidence collected properly. See, here's the thing. I was raised in 4 generations of police, so I'm very familiar with the process. You got to collect the evidence. You got to preserve it. Don't allow any kind of degradation. You protect the crime scene. You got to put booties on. You got to put a hairnet on. You got to wear gloves and all that crap, right? Okay, well, this is a little different. I got to take in texts. I got to take in actually, she should have immediately, when I'm saying on this police report, there's a video surveillance for my work. A lot of these places tape it over once a week. She should have had her ass in there getting that right away. Immediately. So it's not taped over and then I lose it. It's degraded. Yeah, it would have shown some stuff. And then there's this. So I'm talking to a shrink in Oklahoma after I get back. They have me tested for what they did is they came in and said, they want you to lie. They want you to let them save face. And I said, fuck that. There's no way. My mugshot's all over the news. And I haven't done anything. I've not committed a crime. I'm following the law in the state where I live. I have to file a police report. And by the way, no evidence was collected. No investigation commenced. Nothing. So how do they know it's false? They obstructed justice. And so, now what? I'm not lying for these bitches. Fuck them. So, oh shit, now we got to get her tested to see if we can't get a shrink to say she's crazy. I get Texas Tech comes in to test me twice. Not, Matt sends one in and my attorney hired one. So, why are we having both attorneys get Texas Tech, whack jobs, whack job, what do you call it? Whack job detectors in to see if I'm crazy. Who knows? Looks a little fishy, doesn't it? I mean, wouldn't you want to use a different entity? Wouldn't you? Why would you use the same entity? That's a conflict of interest, I would think. Defense is usually going to counter what prosecutor found, but prosecutor found I was completely competent. So why do we have defense needs to evaluate me as well? Anyways, I get home and I call one of our people here, and I'm in Oklahoma, and I'm like, doctor, I need an evaluation to see if I'm delusional. Because they threatened me with a false arrest, and then they carried it out, and then I wouldn't lie for them, so they had like a bunch of shrinks trying to see if they could find a way to make me look crazy. So I need you to test me. So he goes, okay, well, first thing I have to do is look at your evidence. I got to see the text. I got to see the video. I got to see your blood test. Right. Okay. Well, so they destroyed all that. It's gone. Okay. Well, here's the thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the video from your work, and we're going to see what the blood test and all that crap says in the text. And I'm going to look at the video from your work, and you're going to tell me what you see. If you see something I don't see, then we're going to say perhaps that's delusion. But since they destroyed your evidence, I'm guessing the chances are very high you're not delusional at all. He carried out the threat. He's a politician. He's a stalker. You took him to court. He didn't like that. Now he needs a smear campaign. Oh, yeah. I think you're probably right. He goes, I'm thinking if you were delusional, he'd made sure there's a video to prove you're delusional. He'd made sure there's a blood test to prove you lied about being poisoned. He'd have made sure he could prove his case with evidence. Instead, he's destroyed your evidence, which means you're not delusional, most likely. So, I can't do a damn thing without your evidence. Since he's destroyed it, I don't know what to tell you. I can't watch a video to see if you saw something I don't see. He destroyed it. That means you're not. So there you go. Claire. Or Mr. Barnes. I'll try to be. So they don't call me back till I'm already in jail. Which means I lost my video of surveillance from work that night. I lost my blood. Mr. Powell had no intention of going to trial. Which you're not supposed to arrest somebody if you don't have an intention of going to trial and the belief that you can get a conviction beyond reasonable doubt. Well, he didn't bother to collect my evidence. Mr. Perry, Princess Prissy Pants. You need to act like a man if you want to be treated like a man. You want to be a dignitary, act with dignity. Why is it that you should get away with this kind of shit and Bill Clinton did not? Why are you special? What planet are you living on? You got the grandiose thinking of a cereal. So they dismissed my claims, and we had an agreement. Since you won't lie, what do you want? Well, I'll stay quiet if Mr. Perry never, ever, ever, ever contacts me again. Ever. So they did these, in which case he admitted he was bothering me, and he agreed to stop. Charles, shut up. Please get out of my computer. This is not a conversation. You're not supposed to know I'm doing this right now. Peeping Tom. I would like for you to get it out of your head that I care what you think. I don't. No one asked you. No one cares what you think. We're tired of hearing it. Mr. Warman, please advise your client. Everybody's sick and tired of hearing what he thinks. I don't want to hear it. Nobody understands why he thinks I care. I don't want to hear it. No one cares. We're sick of hearing it. We're sick of him. We're sick of the problems and the drama that he causes. And when he's in jail, we don't have to deal with that ever again. So, we have 50,000 recordings, and he doesn't have a date because of that. We're all tired of dealing with him. Okay, Mark? So, you too, Mr. Barnes, we're all tired of dealing with this. He had to admit guilt in order to agree to stop. And then they order me also to see a shrink. So the shrink doesn't say, yep, she's crazy, she needs to be on medication, blah, blah, blah. Nope. She says that I'm articulate and intelligent and honest and afraid of you. That's what stalking is about. You have to establish the fear. Okay, she sees me for a year and a half for an hour or two per session. Sometimes I was in her office for 2 hours. Sometimes it was 1 hour. It was at least once a month. Most of the time it was twice a month. Only once or twice it was once a month because our schedules were just all jacked up. But that's a lot of time she spent with me. A lot longer than the guys you sent in to try to do the wackadoo detector. Yeah, it didn't do anything but irritate the fuck out of everybody. So, because it's bullshit, and you knew it. You knew we had the McNamara email. You knew we had it. You know I had the text of January 1. You know I had the text of Fabian. You know I had the text of my friends and family saying he's stalking me and he's threatening false arrest. I may have to move. He's threatened to ruin my business. I may have to move. He's pulling up behind my house. You know about Cheryl's. You know I had all that. Not one thing. Not one email. Not one social media post. Not one anything anywhere at all about any kind of political vendetta. In 13 years, that'd have been something. I'm very, very vocal. I'm that guy. I'm that girl. I'm that person that says what everybody else is thinking and they're too afraid to say. I'll just fucking say it. I don't care what you think. I don't care who the hell. I don't care. I'm chief. You know, you grow up in a house like I mean, my family was the power in the town where I grew up. My granddad's the chief of police. Then he's city councilman. Then he's county treasurer and all that crap. So, if you grow up like that, do you think maybe you get to be kind of assertive and you really don't think much about it? I mean, think about it. If you didn't grow up like that, you might not understand. I grow up, I'm the chief's daughter, a granddaughter. I'm the police chief's, I'm tired. I'm sorry, I'm tired, so sometimes what I mean to say isn't coming out like I wanted to. So it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I really didn't want to do a podcast today, but since you're bothering me again, I guess I have to. I have to document it. I'm going to document your crime against me, because what these are used for, Mr. Perry, is going to be used to get an indictment and a conviction, and you're going to go to jail, and then we don't have to deal with this shit anymore. The imposition and the burden of your stalking, your voyeurism, and I need a lie. I'm going to make you lie. I'm going to put extreme duress on you until you lie. I hear it every fucking day. I'm going to starve you into a lie. I'm going to take your car and make you lie. He thinks if he takes my car, I'll call him and he can talk me into lying. It's that bad. He's that whack job. See, who was that guy? My attorney knows. That talked to me in jail. Robert something. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I wasn't very impressed with him. Robert something. Ask Ted. Ask Philip. So, he's a whack job detector. Why don't you go see him and see if he can help you, Perry? And you need somebody. You need some professional. Honestly, our shrink thinks you need to be in a nursing home. That you've got some Alzheimer's, because we have to repeat ourselves so much. People have to say the same thing to you over and over and over and over. Like, I don't care what you think. Please stop. Please shut up and go away. I don't like you, but there's never going to be a date. You're going to go to jail. We're getting these recordings for a reason, sir. It's not because we're bored. They're not going to be played as party entertainment. The McNamara email goes with the recording, sir. You don't get a date you're told on. Everybody's sick of you. When you're in jail, we don't have to deal with this anymore. Your little poke and peep problem. Your little weirdo, sex weirdo problem. So if Bill Clinton didn't get away with this shit, he got in trouble for perjury or obstruction or something, didn't he? After the Monica Lewinsky thing, he lied. Well, what makes you what makes you think you're better than Bill Clinton? I think you're off your nut. What about John Ensign? John Ensign got in trouble for. He almost went to prison. My friend, his guy, Chief of Staff John Lopez, almost went to jail too, for covering for him. And John said, I was loyal to a fault. I should have not got wrapped up into that thing. Well, yeah. So learn from his mistakes. Here's the thing. You're smart if you learn from your mistakes, but you're even smarter and wiser if you learn from other people's. John Lopez passed away of diabetes, I'm sorry to say, but I'm sure he would tell some of you, you guys that, for whatever reason, like being the bitch of a sex weirdo, over just normal, just fucking normal, humane. Charles, I need you to understand this. I don't care what you think. I really don't know why you think I would. I think it speaks to your delusion that you continue to try to tell me what you think. And I'm not going to help you. You continue to ask me who told. No one's going to help you with that. In 7 years, McNamara email was 7 years ago. No one's ever helped you with that. No one's going to help you with that. We're all sick and tired of your crime. You're being stopped. Mr. Warman, please explain that to your client where he will understand it. He has fucking no idea what I'm saying right now. So go see Bob, the Bob guy from Texas Tech Shrinks and psycho detectors, and see if they can help you. So what this Shrinks Hall says is she's afraid for her and her family. And now what he asks me all the time is, that your family leaking? Because you call him, once a week and tell him we're going to false arrest her. We think we finally found a way to make that work. And then when I find out you think they're linking, I'm not told who the leaks are. I'm not told. I've tried to stay away from my family so you can't make that accusation. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to stay away from my family so you can't make false, accusations. I don't know who your leaks are. I don't even care. Listen to the words I'm saying. I don't care what you think. No one's going to help you. Never have, never will. You continue to make unwanted contact with me, and all it does is piss us all off, and then we get more. Okay? You want to keep going down that road, bitch? You asked for it. Next time we quote you. Okay? I've asked you not to contact me. Do you understand even what I'm saying? Act like you don't know. You never respond like you understand. All right, look at this, Claire. See, Charles knew I had this. He's a hacker. Unless he has Alzheimer's and he can't remember. So there's this. What's it say? Me being dead or arrested on faked up charges like he's been trying to do is not going to equal vindication of stalking. It's going to actually prove he is. Well, guess what Dr. Russell said? By the way, look at the date on that. January 4, 2016. I hadn't been arrested yet. I hadn't even filed the police report yet. I did that on the 21st, a couple of weeks later. Yep, see, I had that, and Charles knew I had it. Okay, so Barnes, Claire, or whoever. So I have this in what she says. It's a stalking escalation. You can listen to what she said right here, and you can read the transcripts right here. They're also all over the court dockets. And yet not one judge listened or bothered to take this into consideration before they just threw my claims out when I wasn't there to argue on my own behalf. Which, by the way, when you're the plaintiff, the burden of proof is on you. You need to be there, don't you think? So they flagged off in Chief Miller's murder a reporter who has a law degree when she said if they had done what Cynthia said in March 2020, Mr. Perry's offering a bribe. Her response is no. If you want to give me something, give back what you took and get out. Or shut up about wanting to give me something. I don't want your byline money. I'm not going to lie for you. You need to get Mike home. You need to give what money back that you took. Legit. A legitimate debt, pay it. And get out. But I'm not taking your byline money. Go away. Leave me alone. Get my club full of people. You ran everybody off. Fix that for them. And he didn't. And it's worse now. And he's delusional and doesn't understand that. He has no idea what you're saying. He acts like he doesn't understand what people say to him. So, had they done what she said, though, there's no evidence of coercion. Mike's home. They helped him get home. Then there would be no link to them and Chief Miller's murder. And if she had continued to assert that they did that murder, we would all said, no, she's crazy. She's wrong, if not a little crazy. There's no evidence of coercion. They're not bothering her at all. They helped get Mike home. They grabbed, some meth guy that he busted a few months before did this. So there's no link to the vandalism. There's no link to them. There's no link to her. Even if they really did do the murder, we'd still think they didn't. But that's not what happened. Once again, we see acts showing consciousness of guilt, where now there's 4 court proceedings where it appears there's fraud. And she's broke, so they are trying to coerce her. And Mr. Perry will not stop with the pestering. So they are bothering her. They are coercing. They're continuing to try to take her car. They just got her kicked out of her house. That's evidence of coercion. To me, I'm a smart person. I'm a reporter. I have a law degree. So there's that. It does look like they did kill the chief. And they're trying to make her lie. They're trying to shut her up. What else does she know? Does she know what we know? Or a lot more, maybe. Yeah, see, 12 of them know quite a lot. Mr. Perry, you need to stop acting like a little girl. Get off your ass and go work. You need the alibi. You need it bad. So, there's that. Also, Mr. Barnes is this. I recorded this guy. It's called a sting op. He's offering me $5,000. Charles, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear from you. Please get out of my computer. I'm repeating myself again. Mr. Perry, I'm repeating myself again. Get out of my computer. I don't care what you think. I don't know why you think I would. You need to respond like you understand me. I'm telling this guy I don't like him. He's disgusting to me. And I've said that. I told Dr. Russell the same thing. How do I make this guy understand? I don't like you. Go away. Yep, they're crazy. I mean, he's mentally disabled. Kind of what she said. You can read it yourself. What is this? I'm not going to take money to be creeped out by this weird guy, this weird little fuck, can't control himself. So, and then he asked me if I'm wearing a wire, and then he says, you could ruin him politically. What's my response? Good, I don't like his position on abortion. Nope, that's not what I said. Claire, what'd I say? Don't give a shit about his politics. This stupid shit. See what he was talking about, the threat? Charles was typing in my phone that day. I'm going to have you false arrested again. I'm going to have you false arrested again. That's what he's talking about. If he does what he's going to do. What's on Sunday? Nothing. I go, yeah, he was threatening something on Sunday. See, he's been threatening me. Yeah, you can. What's he going to do? He was threatening me. He was threatening me with false arrest. All day the day before. And he says he's not doing a damn thing. Yeah, sure, whatever. And, where does he say it? Look at that. You could be wearing a wire. Is he your friend? No, he's not. No, I can't say, because you could be wearing a wire. Whoa. And I'm like, where? In my G-string. But I was recording him, wasn't I? Right here. I don't give a shit about his politics. What I want him to do is leave me the fuck alone. You're not wanted, you're not loved, you're told on and told on and told on and told on. And you can't figure out right now that people don't like what you're doing, sir. They don't like you. They don't like what you're doing. I don't like anything you do. Nothing. You'll never get a date with me because you do everything that disgusts me. And you know it and you do it anyway. You don't do a fucking thing I like. You absolutely refuse to do anything at all I like. You do every fucked up, weird ass, bullshit, twisted, sick thing no normal person could think up if they had to that I don't like. I don't like being raped in my house. I don't like being violated. And you do it anyway. And it's sickening, and you're gross, and you're nasty, and because of it, you will never get a date with me. I don't like being broke. Because you make me be broke, you will never get a date with me. Once you're in jail, when we get to use these recordings, and you're indicted and convicted, I won't ever have to deal with that crap again. And we have zero problem getting that crap. Zero. We have always controlled your leaks. You never have, you never will. You can't even control yourself. You sick, twisted little fuck. So, Mr. Barnes, you got a problem? You came into town and, you think you got a case or something? I'd look this over pretty well, and I'd look over the court dockets also. I'd look over all the pictures of Officer Neely and point out for us all, where are the injuries that look like he was in a fight? Chief Miller's head came off his body. Came off. Internal decapitation. So you gotta be at least as good of a Sherlock as I am, and I'm pretty fucking good. So I'm doing things they've not seen done before. I do have help. There's no damn way I could do this by myself. I mean, here, I'll show you. Is that your room? Did you order and hack my DoorDash so I had to deliver to you? Was that you? Yep. Well, if so, duly noted. Do you see this? This is the Fabian puzzle. Fabian is the man that said, I think you deserve better than to be harassed by this guy for the rest of your life. Mr. Perry, when a woman says, I don't like it when you do that, please stop. You really think you're going to get a date with her if you keep doing things she doesn't like? Like you're poking peep bullshit and you're clicking bang. He knows what that means. I'm not going to explain to everybody else what that means. Charles Perry knows exactly what that means. It's some of the creepy, weird-ass shit he does that I've referred to that no normal person could even think up, much less do. He's a weird son of a bitch. When we go to trial, then I'm able to talk about it. Then I can't talk about it now. I'm not allowed to. So, this depicts the fear and the sadness Mr. Perry causes. The word boo is also referring to a private joke between one of these guys and me. Me is depicting Charles Perry as a selfish little butt-in wannabe. He's not the wanted one. He's not giving me hope. He's just a butt-in. Just a butt-in, nothing wannabe. So, here is that they got me in jail, Mr. Barnes. I got that in jail. Nobody asked Charles Perry what he thought about it. Wasn't up to him. Nobody asked him about the McNamara email. How did, is it okay, Mr. Perry, if we give her this information beforehand? Nope. Nobody asked you, did they? It wasn't up to you. So when you go to jail and they seize your shit, and Mike and I finally don't ever have to be broke again, as I've said that over and over and over. When you're gone, I'll never be broke again. My guy's like, unless you blow it in Vegas, you won't be broke ever again. Ever. So, we don't want you here. Nobody wants you here. We're all sick of this. People are sick and tired of watching you make me be broke. People are sick and tired of watching you cause a problem where I can't even go to work. It's not safe for me. My safety and my well-being is threatened. Either a car accident, or you want to be pulled over, and these poor guys that we don't want to be the one to pull her over. She lost her butt trying to help a cop. Or, the two that came into Sensations and said, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to help them. They wanted us to just find a way to false arrest. Charles, he's asking me, who was it? I will never help you with information. I want for you to be gone. I don't like being peeped on. I don't like it. You're not stopping on your own, so you're being stopped. I have zero motive to help you. I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of you raping me. I'm tired of you violating me. I'm never going to help you with information, even if I had it. Only a couple of people know who your leaks are. And those two, I didn't even ask them what police department they were with. They gave me names that I don't even remember now, and I'm not sure they were their real names. They seemed concerned. So, in order for them not to have a problem, I didn't ask what police department are you with? There's a lot of times I don't. Because I don't want to have to answer your fucking questions. You're dangerous. I'm not told who your leaks are. I'm not going to tell you anything that would help you continue to make my life a living hell. So, go fuck yourself. I don't know why you would think I would. That doesn't even make sense. So, he does. He acts like I would help him continue to ruin my life. Why would I do that? It's like you don't understand what people say to you. It's very frustrating to have to deal with. So, sometimes people make jokes like, you should be you should be at home crocheting with your grandkids, cuckoo bird. And you should too, Charles. Absolutely. Go home and crochet. But don't bother me. You poke me and you peep. I'm sorry. It's a joke. You poke. I told Dr. Russell, he's like, poke. So it's a metaphor kind of thing. When you do that, I hate it. I don't want to hear from you. I don't like you. I'm not going to help you. Continue to bother me and invade my privacy and ruin my life. I'm not going to help you. I don't care what you think. We're all sick of hearing it. We care about what the victims think. I feel raped. Why don't you care about how I feel? I'm tired of being broke. Everybody's sick and tired of you making me be broke. Why don't you care about what everybody else feels? No one wants to hear anymore, or even one more time, how you feel, what you think, what you want, and you need a lie. You are overbearing with the shit. We're sick of hearing it. So, no one's helping you. They're not going to help you. They never have. They never will. Not the people that have the power to get you information, like who gave me the McNamara email and all that crap. None of those people are going to help you. We all want you gone, and this is over. The nightmare's over. So the more you continue to impose and burden and bother and pester and harass and take and cause loss and problem after problem, and everything's an ordeal, and things that should be fun, you ruin it. And now it's not fun. Now it's unfun. And my homework that should take this, this amount of XYZ amount of time takes a whole lot longer because you got to jam things up and delete while I'm shut up. All that's over when you're gone. No one's going to help you. No one has in all these years. They're not going to start now. When you're gone, the nightmare's over. I finally have my privacy back, and I'll never be broke again. And Officer Neely goes home. And then you'll have to worry about who's getting your truck and your car and your, home, seizing your shit and selling it to give to your victims. Mike and I are at the top of the list, just so you know. You've picked on us so badly. Picked on us and picked on us and picked on us and picked on us and picked on us so badly, we're at the top of the list. And there is a list, by the way. So when they got this puzzle to me in jail, it wasn't up to you. And the McNamara email and Michael's drugged email and all these other emails that go with a recording. Nobody called you and asked you, Mr. Barnes or Charles or Josh, Dave, Joe, whoever, Calvin. Nobody asked you, did they? Because it's not up to you. You're the offender. You're pissing everybody off. You're getting told on. We don't have to ask questions like who's telling on me. We don't ask those kind of questions. You do. We control your leaks, always have, always will. You didn't have any control over McNamara email or this or when we found out Mike was drugged. It's not up to you. We're all sick of you. Everybody's sick and tired of you. You're disgusting. You're a burden. You're an imposition. You're committing crime, and a lot of it, and we're sick of dealing with it. You've bothered us with it long enough. Okay? Now, act like you understand what I'm saying, because you really always act like you don't, and you never respond appropriately. You're just fucking like Neil. He's not responding right to what she's asking. I don't care what you think. No one understands why you think I would. I don't care. No one asked you. What were you asked to do? Leave me alone? Comply with the law? Get some dignity? Get off your ass? Go work? You're going to have to account for your time. Where is Jacqueline, Jordan, and Matthew when you're bothering me all day? See, I moved twice to get away from you and not have a conflict. I didn't pick a fight. Every time you cause me a loss, you're picking a fight. You can't know when I'm working unless you're peeping. You can't know what company I'm working for unless you're hacking me. You can't get me as the driver unless you're hacking. If you want to get me, one of your people to get a picture of me on the doorbell camera and I go to pick up the food, you better fucking make sure it's ready on time. I don't have time to wait. And the employees are friendly and nice. Like all people should be if they're in service. If you're restaurant, I go to a certain restaurant because the people are friendly and nice. Service is good and efficient. You can tell everybody's professional and on top of their game. Or you go in and everybody's in the back and food's not ready and like, where'd everybody go? You're leaving a bunch of customers just standing here twiddling our thumbs, waiting for you to get off your break or something. Torchies, that was pathetic. Anyways, so if you're going to do shit like that to me, I'm not going to take the order. If you want me to get my picture on your doorbell camera guy, you better make sure the food's on time. And just so you know, more than once has that guy told you, I've seen her do without food. Unfortunately, she's had to make that choice. Can't even go to fucking work. A woman. Here's the thing. If you're a man and you like picking on women and children to feel tough guy, there's something sick with you. Charles, you feel tough guy picking on women and kids? Are you too coward? Are you too much of a pussy to pick on guys? Go pick on dudes. You pick on women and children? That's a great way to get beat up in jail. Yeah, you already got the Jeff Epstein factor. Dr. Weck's like, I think he got beat up. I think he was murdered. People, even prisoners, are repulsed by sex weirdos like that. Right? So, I'm watching the episode of Ruby on The Closer. I'm not even going to comment one way or the other, except that pretty much says the same thing. Get a grip on reality. Look at your real situation. It's not good for you. And the more you do to me, the more you get caught. But for a woman to have to be too scared to go to fucking work, something's wrong. It's bad wrong. It's economic abuse. My guy calls it grand larceny with intent to coerce, depending on the amount per event, or interference with contracts and commerce. Or it might be a week. He might be charging for the whole week. He might be charging you for what I could have made that week had you not gotten my wallet and hacked my phone and jammed up all the apps and ran off customers in a strip club. My guy says, we hired a consultant. I talked to that guy. Should have been making 6 figures by your 3rd year. With your personality, with what I learned from talking to the people you work with, and some of the customers even, that's what it would have been had he not done what he did. So, when they take your truck and seize everything, to pay us back, that's why. Everybody's sick and tired of the suffering you're making me go through. And when you're gone, the nightmare's over. And you need to act like you understand me. So for somebody to have to make that kind of comment, though, this girl, it's so bad that she can't even just go to work. I've watched her do without food. She'll hunker down and she won't leave because Perry is that bad of a threat. that she's willing to forego food to avoid a threat he's posing. By the way, in the former state of Oklahoma, where she moved to be with her family and get away from him. Now he's up here, sending guys like Pinto and Mickey James and David Robertson and arsenic poisoning, and we got, solicitation of prostitution, and we got 20 different ways. Let's try to false arrest her, make crap up, and we got a murdered cop. We took that very seriously. The attempted murder of me and Mike, and the murder of a cop. First degree. You planned it. You were recorded. They didn't want you to know there even was an investigation, except that you were talking about killing me so much. They figured it might be a crime deterrent, dumbass. For most people it would. Not for stupid Charles. So, I'm done, and I don't like having to do these, by the way. I'm only doing them to protect my safety and my well-being, which I have the right to do. Claire, you want to follow me around in the, next time I go door dashing or Uber Eats or whatever, first you're going to have to explain how you knew I was going to do that right then. Second, you got to explain how I got your people as customers without hacking me. How'd you know I was working for DoorDash and not Uber Eats, or Uber Eats and not DoorDash? I mean, you got to explain all that. And I don't know that you can. Or, why would you not get a cop killer and help us get fraud upon the court resolved so Officer Neely can be free, and you got the true offender, and the nightmare's over? We got a bigger case. You're welcome to the 5. We've made that clear. Get the 5. I want to interview Perry after he's waived Miranda, and he's been Miranda'd and waived, because there's questions about other people he's murdered. I want to ask him. He needs to explain it. He needs to explain. He also needs to account for how he's spending his time. He has no idea. I've said that and said it and said it and said it. Where is Jacqueline when you're bothering me? What does she think you're doing? So, I mean, you're going to have to explain all that. So, you might as well do it on a yellow legal pad. How about that? Who's Mary Beth and Monique? Why did you kill Justice Scalia? Because you wanted to perpetrate a fraud, a false claim of you're being harassed when you're told on? In his court, he said no. And he died in West Texas while you were planning that. We were all there. Right when I'm, sitting in jail. Tulsa police hadn't even called me yet. And it was supposedly a false police report. Yeah. Sapulpa police didn't look at anything either. But I think that we expected Sapulpa, I think that, okay, when my granddad was a police officer and my dad and all, it was in the 70s, so everything's changed. So I think when I went to a smaller town, and I talked to the first officer, my screen was slashed. So I called them, and it was I'd made a non-emergency call, and I'm telling him the landlord said he just changed this, so it shouldn't be. I think I actually talked to the landlord with the cop standing there. Somebody slashed my screen. I have had a stalker problem. Might be him. They didn't really do a whole lot. So I think at this point we're thinking, great, small town Barney Five here. We didn't have high expectations for a small town police department. We did with Tulsa police, though. So when they did what they did and gave hang on a second. Okay, so there's these 2 videos that should be watched. Connecting the dots is what you're supposed to do with a stalking report, police, and how you are to interact with victims. And what they say is, make sure that victim knows stalkers are dangerous. Sometimes they tend to do car vandalism type deals. So, and then there's this use of technology that discusses hacking. Very prominent now. The stalkers hack almost always. So watch those 2 videos. So we expected them to do a whole lot better than give my police report over to the offender and not investigate anything and not get my evidence first and make a determination. After I get the determination, then I can go to court, get a protective order. I wanted to wait till there had been a determination made, and I didn't get that chance because they then obstructed justice and destroyed my evidence, which had they prosecuted that, the obstruction, it was an easy one. That one was easy. There might be Chief Miller still alive today. and Mike Neely home with his kid. You might have some good officers because Manfred was getting it done right, or they wouldn't be where they are. Right? And you've tried to do that to me. Peep and poke. You need to control yourself, and you need to act like you understand me. Because right now they're ready in a different courtroom to say that you're mentally retarded and mentally ill. But not enough to forego prosecution. You're not insane to the extent that you don't know you're committing a crime. The second thing that we've done is establish that you can't assert the defense that you had my consent to peep on me or sell me online, because I did ask for money and I did tell you to stop and you did it anyway. So you're really in some violation of the law there. You are told to comply with the law. You're not Jodi Arrington on TV talking about your job as a congressman, United States congressman. You're not better than John Ensign or Bill Clinton or Bill O'Reilly or Jeff Epstein. You're not even close. So I think you need to get off your high horse and stop demanding everybody kiss your ass and lie. You don't get that this time. I said that a long time ago, didn't I? 50,000 emails that go with 50,000 recordings of you trying to hurt me says you don't get away with it this time. Okay? Now, what I've asked you to do is to shut up. Don't contact me again. Get out of my privacy. Butt out of my business. Get your hand out of my wallet. And leave me alone. Go be with your family. Go bother your own family with your imaginary cuckoo bird, whatever. Go crochet or something.